Hey kids, today we're on day 4 of our reading. We have been working on answering questions. On the first day, I made you ask and answer, and then day 2, 3, and 4 were just answering. So we're going to go over and do this together. So first we had a right there question. Think about what is a right there question. Anyone think? A right there question is the answer is found directly in the text, meaning you're going to go in and actually point to the answer. Easy peasy, right? Then we talked about, I'm going to actually shrink that really small for you. Maybe. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Yeah. Directly in the text. I'm going to put it right there. Okay? Then we talked about a think and search question. Think about what that is. What is a think and search? Think about it. So right there, you point right there, right? Think and search. You are thinking about it and you are searching throughout the book in multiple spots, okay? So the answer is in the text, but you need to look in different parts and put the information together. And there is a secret to this one. Does anybody know that? In your answer, you must include something special. Anybody know? You need to include and in your answer. Why? Because you're finding it in multiple spots, and that's your key word. Just like that. So we have right there, the answer is found directly in the text, think and search, and you will see both of those there. Right there, you are literally pointing to it and sometimes copying exactly what it says. Think and search, you're going in multiple spots to get your answer. Does that look familiar? It should. All right, then I'm going to add another page. We have author and me, which is what? This is Will's favorite, right? Think about what that one is. What is author and me? Here you're going to combine or connect what you already know with what you read to answer the question. You're using what the book says and yourself, which is why it's called author and me. Here's that picture that goes with it. What I know and the book know to answer it. Okay? Last one is the one that we're going to learn today. Today is on my own. An on your own question. Okay? This one is the most fun, but the highest level of thinking. You're going to search your background knowledge to answer this type of question. So here you're not going to find it in the book or anywhere else besides your brain and your background information, which is why the picture looks like this. Everything I know and connections is how you're going to answer it. Okay? We're going to read over a short passage. We're going to come up with right there, think and search, author and me, and on my own. Oh, and then you get to come up with your on your own answer to a question that I give. Sound cool? This is important to lock in your brain because we are going to kind of have like a little test almost tomorrow to see if you guys can do this. Okay? Sound good? Cool. So let's go to the right there in our passage. Here's our passage. It's just short. Because Anthony's teacher, Mr. Rivera, gave the class a different kind of homework assignment. The assignment was to watch the weather report on television every night for a week. Mr. Rivera told the students some things to listen for as they watched each night's report. He also gave them a worksheet to fill out while they watched. Okay, we know that we can do a right there question right away. Why? Because you point to the text. So I'm going to ask, who is Anthony's teacher? What's the answer? Read that to yourself. Mr. Rivera, right? I'm going to copy that because you actually copy it, okay? So our question is, who is Anthony's teacher? Who is he? What's the answer? Mr. Rivera. We know this because we can point directly to the text, right? We see it right there. It is a right there. All right, let's keep going. We want to do a think and search. So this one we're going to need to know multiple parts of the story, so we can't do this one till the end. Okay? We have author and me and on my own to think about as well. Let's keep going. Mr. Rivera said to look at the large weather map that they would see behind the weather reporter. He told them that they might see a large blue line or a large red line on the map. There might be both a blue line and a red line. He said that a blue line is a high pressure area that usually brings dry weather. A red line is a low pressure area that usually brings wet weather. When blue and red lines meet, there usually is stormy weather on the way. On the worksheet, there was a box to fill in with the expected high temperature for the day. There were other boxes to check if there was expected rain or to be cloudy or windy. Anthony watched the weather report and filled in the worksheet each night. He noticed that the next day was usually a lot like the report said it would be. One day's weather map showed a blue line right next to a red line, and the next day there was a rainstorm. Anthony decided that he liked that kind of homework assignment. Okay, so we're going to go back. Think and search. The answer is in the text, but you need to look in multiple parts. Ooh, I spelled parts wrong. Come on, Mrs. Wolf, right? Parts and put the information together. Your question I'm going to ask you is, what did Anthony have for homework? What did Anthony have for homework? I want you to think about that. What did he have for homework? Anybody know? We can find this in multiple parts. He had to do the worksheet to fill in the box. He had to watch the weather report every day. That's two things. So Anthony had to watch the weather every day. And we had to use that word and, remember? And he had to fill in weather boxes each day. That's two things that we found in two parts of the story, right? All right, let's shrink this down. Come on, buddy. Make it a little fatter. There we go. Boom. So our right there question was, who is Anthony's teacher? Mr. Rivera, because we could point to that in the text. Think and search is you had to use the word and in your picture because it's two separate parts, right? Anthony had to watch the weather every day and he had to fill in the weather boxes each day. Easy. All right, author and me. Let's do an author and me. Combine or connect what you already know with what you read to answer the question. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question, how do you know there is a storm coming? How do you know there's a storm coming? How do you know? I know for two reasons. In the book, it said a storm was coming when red and blue lines mixed. I also know a storm is coming when when hot and cold weather mix, because that is how tornadoes are made. I know this without reading. So I made that connection. I used what I knew from the book, which is the red and blue lines, and what I knew for myself, which is how a tornado is made, to answer that question. Author and me. What? Last one's an on my own question. Okay, this is the one that you're going to have to do in your homework today. So, on my own, search your background knowledge to answer this type of question. So, on my own, you only can use your head for that. So let's think. What could we have that would be an on my own question? Because later you're going to have to come up with these questions by yourself. When was a time you enjoyed a homework assignment similar to this, the one in the book? This one, you have to use your background information only to answer this. Similar to the one in the book. And you need to answer that today in Seesaw, okay? When was the time you enjoyed a homework assignment similar to the one in the book? That is going to be your on your own question that you need to answer today. Sound good? Then we have assigned a book for you to read in Seesaw, and you get to start to think about how you would answer all of these questions. Because tomorrow you have to answer all of these 4 different types of questions based off a book. So today's like your review day. You're going to read on the book in Seesaw that we assigned to you, which is, let me double check. Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table. You get to read that today and prepare yourself. I'm not going to walk you through it. Prepare yourself for your like mini test quiz tomorrow, okay? Because you're going to have to know how to answer all of these. Sound good? Cool. So read that and answer this question in Seesaw. Awesome. Thank you.